Hey, hey, hey. Welcome to another episode of Believe TV. Hopefully, this is going to be a short one. This is just me and just a few things that I wanted to address. If you've never tuned in before, my name is Bruce Sampson, and this is Believe TV. And here we talk about the Believe Performing Arts experience, as well as our motto, Embrace the Possible. So everything on this program is either talking about the camps and the different efforts that we do specifically, or they're geared towards the philosophy of and the vision of embracing the possible, being inspirational, and just understanding what is possible when you truly believe and when you uh, take a different slant on life than sometimes the world presents. So I welcome you to the show. Wow, see, I already have 4 viewers. Hey, whoever you are, I can't tell who you are right now, but hello and welcome. So what we're going to do is there are a few different things that I want to address today, and you. Oh, also, I should say, in this program, you're also welcome to leave comments. So if you're most likely you are viewing this through Facebook, and so if that's where you're connected, then we encourage you to say hi, to throw out your thoughts, to ask questions, anything you want. We want this to be as interactive as possible. So Happy New Year as well to those of you we haven't said that yet. Good afternoon, DJ. I just saw DJ, and there was someone else I just saw. Oh my gosh, Michael Schwartz. What's up, homie? Hey man, I've been trying to follow you. I'm still kind of confused as to like where you are and what you're doing because it seems like you're moving around and doing different projects simultaneously. But at some point we should catch up. So yeah. So anyway, so we have some different agenda items today. The first one is I'm going to put on the screen here. Are you focused on the problem or the possibility? 2 years ago, I was in Southern California, in Corona, and had the honor and pleasure of watching a rehearsal and a practice in a class that was being taught by Robin Brawley, who is the choreographer, and she wears a lot of different hats, but she's the choreographer and one of the directors for the Young Americans. And one of the things that she said was this very question. She asked, I don't even remember exactly what happened, but I just know that something happened and rehearsal wasn't going, or the class wasn't going the way as productively as it could be, and people were kind of going through some things. And so she said, are you focused on the problem or the possibility? And so I immediately wrote that down. Like anytime someone says something influential that like, ooh, like hits me, I usually like type it into my phone and leave it as a note to remind myself to go back and think about that and focus on it. And so given that this is a new year and all that good stuff, and I thought it'd be a good place to start with, what are you focused on? You know, as we look at the world today and things that are going on in the world, there's a lot of negativity, there's a lot of division. But it's like, are we focused on that? And so that makes us further fulfill that negativity and that division? Or are you focused on the possibility of, well, hey, here's an opportunity for us to break out of that. Once you recognize that there's an issue, that creates an opportunity. So you can be focused on the negativity, or you can say, no, I want to turn this into a positive. I want to do something different. That was the birthplace of Believe and some other initiatives that I'm involved in. And so anyway, just one thing to think about. I mean, does everyone get that concept of, are you focused on the problem or the possibility? Because that will determine your reality, right? If you're just focused on things aren't going well right now, things are really a problem, then you're going to stay in that reality for a long time. But if you're focused on that and you let that energize you and let that boost you and inspire you, let you see my shirt here. If you let that inspire you, um, then things will improve because you'll make them improve. It's a self-fulfilling prophecy. You know, if you say things are never going to get better, then odds are you're probably not going to do anything to make them better either. Okay. But if you say, you know, things aren't great right now, but I want to make them better. Okay, great. Then you're more likely to start doing things and recognizing areas of improvement for yourself. At the end of the day, we can really, truly only control our actions and reactions to things. Which brings me to this next point, which is I was thinking about this the other day, and every once in a while it comes back to my brain. Someone posted something online, or either I heard someone say something about wanting to donate something, but they wanted to make sure how it was being used. They wanted to be careful how it was being used, and so they were going round and round and struggling internally and everything. And at the end of the day, it goes back to that same thing. You can't control what someone else does. You can only control your actions. So therefore, if you, and here's an example, because this is one of the ones that used to come up with me when I was younger, because I used to have this, an adult, but a younger adult. I remember being out in Southern California. There was a period where I was working at for MCA Records, and our offices were on the set of, or on the property of Universal Studios at that time. And at least my office was. So anyway, there were always people around that area, because sometimes when I go for lunch, I go off the property and whatever. So there were always people there and positioned at some of the off ramps of the freeway who be asking for money, you know, for donations or whatever for themselves. And I remember that discussion being one of like, well, I used to always roll down my window and give, and you know, if I had a couple of bucks or whatever, I'd get it. And then I remembered some people saying to me, "Oh man, don't do that. You're stupid if you do that, because they're just going to take that and go use it for drugs, or they're just going to use it to drink alcohol." And in my mind, I went, "Well, you know, I don't want them to use that for that. I want them to feed themselves and try to better their condition. That's what I want them to do." Again, coming back, you can't control what they do. So all you can really truly focus on is what are you doing? Because if you're doing it for the right intention, done, case closed. That's all you really need to worry about. What is your action doing, and what are you motivated by? If it's for good, then that's all you can do. And then that, along with prayer, those are the only things you can do, right? I mean, unless you're going to take a really drastic step and say, "Hey, come live with me. I'll take care of you, help you get on your feet." But whatever you do, it's only what you can control, right? I mean, only you can. Well, you know what I'm saying. You can only control what you do. You can't control the outcome of what someone else does. So, given that, to me, that kind of falls in line with the whole: are you focused on the problem, or are you focused on the possibility, right? And embracing the possible. One of the things is, when we do our belief camps, is this idea of remember, we're working with young people and interacting in the community with the adults and parents and educators. We get really connected and involved, and it's in those 5 days, it's difficult to then leave, because we made this investment, and it usually takes to the end of the week when we get to the show where you see, there's the payoff. And then at that point, you still realize that there's more work to be done, and we would love to stick around to be part of that. But unfortunately, that's just not the reality. We do have to move on. And so we have to come to that realization of, we can only do what we can do within those 5 days. Do what we know best and what we can possibly work on. Mia, hey, how are you? Um, you wish I was your dad? I am your dad. What are you talking about? I love you. I miss you. Um, so, again, we can only control what we ourselves and what we do. And so, as long as our intention is right, as long as our energy is right, that's all that should matter. So, you know, and if our goal is to try to do and help others, then just do it. It shouldn't be about, well, I need to follow you every step of the way and I need to make sure you're doing exactly what I want you to do with it. If that's the case, then be one of those people who decide, I want you to have a meal, so go get them a meal and bring it to them. You know what I mean? If it's that important to you, then go do that. Because if the intent is, I want you to eat, you look like you're hungry, okay, then go get a meal for them, right? Um, I love you too, Mimi. um, so then go do that. Then take that extra step. If that's a specific thing that you want for them, that's your intent. But if your intent is, I want to give them this money and I hope that they do something good with it, good enough. You're done. Okay? Give them the money and hope that they do something good with it, and pray for them, and then move on. But don't stay up nights wondering, I wonder what they did with that. And I'm going to be really upset if they did something that I didn't condone. It's like, that's a waste of energy and a waste of time, and all it does is put more negativity into your life. Let it go. Feel good about the good thing you did and move on. That's it. Do the good thing that you want to do and move on. Okay? So that's my lecture. That's what I'm telling you right now. Okay? So that's just one thing I want to share with you, because on my Time Hop app, it brings up, things from the past, 2 years ago, 5 years ago, whatever. And so one of the things that came up was, I actually posted that after Robin said it, was, are you focused on the problem or on the possibility? And so anyway, that's what I threw up there. So just one more thing for you to think about today. I also wanted to share with you a couple things. Believe Camp registrations are open. We do have people already registering for our camps. And we're also not opposed to adding more camps if necessary. But it's one of those things where, like, if you're interested in hosting a camp and bringing us to you, there's a lot of work to be done. And so it needs to start now. It really needs to start kicking off now. It's not something you can wait until, May and say, hey, we'd like to have you. Well, in most cases, it's not. I'm willing to entertain the conversation, but in most cases, it takes a lot more energy and a lot more time to do it in the traditional manner that we conduct our camps. So, again, registrations are open at BelieveCamp.com. Just go to our website. I also wanted to share this with you. I've shared it before, but registration shortcut. So when you go to our page, normally in order to get to the registration page, you have to click on the little menu up top. So it's like a little menu thing. You click on that, the menu drops down, and then it'll say registration, events and registration. You click on that, and then you find the location that's closest to you, and then you open that, and then you get all the details, and you're able to fill out the registration form. Well, there's actually a quicker way than going through all those steps. You can cut out 2 of those steps by just clicking on the poster. So there's a poster there that says Reach, Believe, Summer Camp Experience. If you just click on that picture of the poster, not the video, the poster that's on the right hand side at the top, you click on that, that'll take you straight to events and registration page. And from there, you can select which dates and which location that you want to sign up for. So as of right now, we are starting off in Gallman. I believe I don't have the dates in front of me, and I should have written that down. But we start June 10th. Pretty sure it's 10th or the 14th. 17th, we go to, I'm sorry, let me back up. We go to Gallman, Mississippi is the first one. Okay, so June 10th, we go to Gallman, Mississippi first, which is traditionally, at least for the 5 years that we've gone there, that's the first place we go. And then We finish from there, and then we stay in Mississippi, and we go to Vicksburg, Mississippi, which is going to be a new location for us, and we're really excited about that. Um, they actually have a very strong performing arts program at the school that we're going to be going to, and so that's going to be a lot of fun to work with them. And I always want to make sure that people know that it doesn't matter what your level of talent or your perceived level of talent is or experience. Come join us, because you'll be surprised what you can do and what you're capable of once we put you in this environment. So don't let any of that stuff go, oh, well, my kid is not a very good singer, or whatever it is. Whatever your perception of your kid's talent, forget all that nonsense. Just bring the kids. It's a great experience, and they shouldn't be denied because you think you're Simon Cowell and have determined that the kid doesn't have enough talent or whatever it is. It's not even really about that at the end of the day. So anyway, moving on. So we go to Vicksburg, and that's going to be starting the 17th. Then the last weekend of June, we will be in my hometown in Bogalusa, Louisiana, Washington Parish Believe Camp. So we'll do that week. Then we'll take the following week off, which is the week of the 4th of July. So we will not have a camp that week. But then, so we'll skip that week so we can celebrate the 4th of July and Independence Day, and everyone can take that week off to do whatever they want to in terms of our staff and our team. And then we will go to another place that we're going to for the very first time, which is Baton Rouge. So we're going to Baton Rouge, and that will be, I think it's the second week in July. And again, I don't have the dates in front of me, but we'll go there. Then we will go to Slidell. We'll go back to Slidell, Louisiana, to cap off our 5 camps that are basically back to back, with skipping a week for Independence Day. So that's our schedule. So it's online. Please go on, register, get your kids signed up. It's a blast. It's life-changing. It's positive. It's people make friends. If you've watched some of our previous episodes, we've had people on who talk about the friendships they've made, and it's not just the kids. And often, in many cases, families connect through the kids, because the kids make friends, and then they introduce them, and then the families introduce them. We have families now who didn't know each other before Believe, and now they go on vacations together and stuff. And it's just a beautiful, beautiful thing. We're bringing people together and communities together, and that's the goal. So we're using the arts to do that. And obviously, if you are interested in the arts and all of that, yes, we want to push you forward and make you better, and we have the people to do it. But at the end of the day, the vision to me is much broader than that, much bigger than that. It's investing in these young people. I consider myself to be an advocate for the youth, for youth, and a believer in everything being possible, embracing the possible, and bringing communities together as well. So there we go. Okay, so let me see. I'm going to throw this on screen. I'm going to risk this and see. And I don't, so forgive me for leaning forward and squinting. Mimi says, I love it. Problem or the possibility. Thank you for that. You're doing amazing things. Thank you. Catch you on the next live. Cool. Love you, kiddo. I can't wait to see you whenever that's going to be. But I hope it's soon. So yeah, so I'm going to take that off, and I'm going to go back to showing you BelieveCamp.com. Okay, so now a couple other things. In fact, I probably should put this on. So I'm really, really excited. If you saw our last episode, it had we had a couple of guests on. First of all, there was Claire Keller, who's a dear friend of mine, and she lives here in Louisiana, in my hometown. And so she joined us, and we talked about just her experiences as an upcoming singer-songwriter and recording artist. And we also just talked about the experiences with Believe, because she has been a counselor with us. And for the first 2 years, she was actually she took, she just participated in as all the other students do. And then the last few years, she has joined our counseling team, as have some other people who have graduated to that point of becoming counselors with us and on our team. And then the other was a friend of mine that I met from Cape Town, South Africa. And she's an educator and a musician and singer and just extraordinary talent in person. And so Christine Bam is her name, and she joined us, and it was really cool because we were talking to her as in her country, it went from New Year's Eve to New Year's. Like, so she was right there to say, "Hey, Happy New Year's," for her time. It wasn't quite New Year's for us yet, but it was for her, and so that was kind of neat. Now, the next thing I want to show you, I'm going to throw this on the screen, is on January 15th. We're going to have a really cool special guest that I'm so excited about. I'm very proud to say that he's a friend of mine, honored to say that he's a friend of mine. And his name is Terron Brooks. He is, how many things can I possibly say? He's an actor, award-winning actor and singer, and done Broadway stage, recording artist, writer. He's a motivational speaker, a music pastor, just so many things, and an author. He has a book that's out, and we're going to be talking about that book. I actually tune into his, he has Tuesday Talks with Terron. I maybe have some of the order of the words on there wrong, but he does kind of like what I'm doing right now, but on Facebook Live. You can tune in and hear me. It's just so motivational and so inspiring. And, there are times when I'm not quite where I should be emotionally and mentally and spiritually. And so I'll tune in and check him out, and I'm like, yeah, there we go. There we go. And he gets me on track. Another one of my friends who does that as well is Michael Lopez. Yes, Michael Lopez. I know him by a different name because he also has a stage name. But he does has an amazing show, and so those are the people I usually tune in to watch. So those that are going to be positive and inspirational and encouraging. I just don't want to spend a whole lot of time and energy with all the negativity and all the this can't be done and let's be separate and let's not like each other and all that nonsense. I just don't have time for it. Life is way too short, and we don't know how much time we have on this earth. And so, I made the decision a few years back where I made the conscious decision that I want my remaining days on earth, however long they are, spent in trying to do good and trying to spread as much positivity and bringing people together. Like I said, I'm an advocate for youth, so that's my primary focus, but it's not my only focus. Since the young people are going to be that next generation, I want to feed that positivity and feed that love as much as possible. But I don't want to eliminate or overlook the folks who are here right now. So it's for all of us. So tune in for Terron. He's going to talk about his career. We're going to talk about his philosophy of life, his faith and beliefs, and all that good stuff. So I hope that you will tune in and join us for that. It's going to be on the 15th. I'll be advertising it more on social media and talking about it again because I'm sure I'll do another episode prior to his episode that he'll be joining us for. And hopefully we can have a nice long time with him to talk about his life and career. And he's just an amazing human being, aside from being a fantastic talent. Oh, and for those of you who don't know the name, you can Google it. But if you don't know the name, if you've ever seen it was on VH1 the first time I saw it, I think. But it's a miniseries. It was a miniseries movie the first time it appeared of the Temptations, Motown, the Temptations. He played Eddie Kendricks, and so that's my most. I guess that's my favorite role, and how he's most memorable to me is in that role. We played Eddie Kendricks in that, but he's done so many different things, and I've had the honor of working with him on a couple of different projects, and he's been a really good friend, and also one of my prayer warriors I go to, and say, hey, pray for me. I'm going through some rough stuff. He's been there and given good advice, and just really appreciate it. And I know you will be touched and moved and blessed by him and his story and the things we'll have to share. So if you have any questions, again, tune in with us and ask those questions. Or as we get close, maybe on the next episode, I'll even have an opportunity for you to give me some questions to ask, and I'll write those down if you are like, hey, I've always wanted to know this, or whatever it is. Anyway, again, this has been Believe TV. My name is Bruce Sampson, and again, I want to encourage you to go to BelieveCamp.com, and you can find out more about the Believe Performing Arts Experience and the Believe Summer Camp Experience that right now is coming to 2 cities in Mississippi this summer and 3 cities in Louisiana. So we hope that you guys will join us and be there. Even if you don't have kids, come to the show and check it out. You will be moved, you will be touched, you will be inspired, and it'll just be a great addition to your summer. As I mentioned before, we would love to come to even more places, so we'd love for you to invite us. We'd love to be there with you. And I think that's going to do it for this episode. Thank you so much for watching us live, for those of you who did, and for those of you who will be watching later. Thank you as well. Have a wonderful time today, and have a safe and beautiful weekend. Think positive, and remember to embrace the possible. All right? Live long and prosper. Peace.